All right, so we're back with another robot movie, but this time it's more like a Roomba. It doesn't have AI. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't do anything. Basically, the robot is like a slave. It's like an appliance. Would that
Now,
be a
what,
good
what
rate?
what movie did you watch?
I watched Real Steel. Well,
I watched
because
a movie. I watched a movie called Real Steel. What was this Roomba crap? It does a lot more than a Roomba does. A Roomba can't do nothing. Roomba gets stuck on the
Roomba
charging platform.
does
Yeah, it
what you
does. It
design it
gets.
to.
It does not. The Roomba moves around the room, and if it gets stuck in a lot of dog hair, it gets stuck.
But
It
then
just
it,
gets stuck.
but then you just talk about dog. I don't have
And
that
then
problem though.
sometimes, okay, good thing because you don't have a dog,
Right, because like then it doesn't really
but you had
apply
a
to
dog.
everybody, right? Like it's kind of like the boxing
Okay.
robots in this movie.
All
It's
right.
like
Let's get
if you
back. Oh, wait,
if you
wait,
have certain problems that not
wait.
everybody's going to
Uh,
experience the same thing.
Okay. Well, they should. They should experience.
What do you mean? Because not
But
everybody has
anyways,
dog hair.
come on. No, this robots fight more. These robots do a lot more than a Roomba. They punch each other. They follow commands. They give voice commands. You don't sit there and go, "Hey Roomba, I want you to back up. Hey
Only
Roomba,
certain
make a
ones
hard
can follow
right.
commands, because
Hey
not all of them
Roomba."
have that voice activated stuff. Only Adam. Well, not
Only
Adam, but
Adam.
it was
So,
Noisy
but
Boy.
it's an option that
Is an
they could
option
put
they
it
can
on
get.
all of
Yeah.
them.
Did you like
Yeah,
this
it's an
movie?
option. Yeah, of course I like this movie.
So
This
the
movie's
we
awesome.
watched
You
this in
got
the theater.
robots. You got robots, dude, and they're fighting. And they're fight. And then they think it's like, everybody put it this way. If you want me to watch a sport, put
This is
robots in
it.
it. Because remember, they had this little robot. I forgot what the name of the robot is. I could tell you, but they made these little robots. It cost about, well, they're cheaper now, but when they first come out, they made these robots. They look like little dog guys. They got little ears and stuff. And they play soccer. I could watch that all day
Wait,
long.
what? Really? I
Yeah,
never
you
heard of
didn't.
this.
Oh, these little robots. I have to send to you. They play soccer. They're old, man. They've been around for. Matter of fact, I used to watch them when I worked at the law firm with you.
What? I don't
Yeah, that's
remember
how
this
far
at
back.
all,
They got to
man.
be better now. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Oh
What
yeah,
what were
these
they
were
called?
American-made robots. I can't remember what they're called.
But you said soccer playing robots?
Oh yeah, they play soccer. Just put soccer player robots. They
I'm
come up.
whoops, I put
One of them
robot.
looks like he looks like Felix the cat to me.
Deep
They kick the little
Mind
ball.
Devil Eye Artemis? What the
No, that's
heck?
not them.
No, I mean like
That
this is
must
it's
be
just name of
the
one.
French. That must be the French robots because they had several different countries had them. The American robot was number one for a while. Maybe not now.
Playing robots. So here's something that I want to point out
But
since
here, but before you
okay.
point yours out, because I would hope it's the same thing you're about to say, so I can
Okay.
ruin it. Remember Bot Wars on NES? Bot Wars on NES, where the
Oh.
robots play baseball.
Oh, Base Wars.
Oh, Base Wars. Why did I say
Yes.
Bot Wars? Base Wars.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Base Wars.
I
Remember
have that
Base
game.
Wars?
I do.
Oh,
I love that game.
I rented that game. I would, but that was like one of the games
We
that I was
talked
always
about
almost
that
always
before,
rent.
yeah.
Yeah, I was always rented. See, this reminds me of that. When this movie came out, I was thinking that's what I was thinking.
You know what? You're right because like Base Wars is the only game like a mobile based sports game, right? They can also
Yeah,
fight. It's kind of like
yeah.
hockey.
You fight. It's like hockey, but you're playing baseball. And the greatest thing about this game is wrong, but some of the games I would win is you'd get the best pitcher you could. That way you could shoot the other robots with the baseball. You hit them so hard if you break enough of their robots, they have to
Oh,
quit the
they had to quit
game.
the game. Yep, the
They're
same thing if
forfeit,
you fight them. Yeah.
forfeit. Oh yeah, I just fight. I would either try to destroy them by pitching or I'd kill
Oh,
them at the
yeah, the
bases.
basis. Yep. Oh,
Oh
I
man, that
do.
was an awesome game.
I remember when I first got that game, I loved because I love baseball, right? And then you have a game like this with robots. Like I didn't even care like if
Let's put it
the
this way:
reviews were bad.
I would watch baseball. It was okay. I wasn't a baseball fan, but when they put robots on there, I was like, oh, this game is the greatest game I ever played. It's
So
it is. Matter of fact, it was the only sports game I would ever rent.
it is right.
Yeah. A lot of people want to play Madden's football. Oh, Madden's football. We had base wars.
Well, there's not a lot of robot-based
There is
sports
hardly
games.
any because nobody has any like. I guess they just don't want to sell to the nerds. I mean,
I want
they're
to
like,
say there was another one called like Powerball or something. It's kind of like it's like a soccer thing, but it's like 2 on 3. It's either 2 on 2 or 3 on 3, and you had to throw this ball between robots to get to the goal. So
well,
it's
yeah. When you
something
go
like
like
that.
that though, there's probably a lot of games that came out later on that me and you missed that had baseball. I meant not baseball, had robots in there
Robot
where you play
baseball
a
games,
sport.
right?
Well, it's not just robot baseball games. I'm talking about any robot sport. I would watch it. They could have robot football, and they probably did make a robot football game. We just probably didn't see it.
they're probably yeah. Ugh.
I mean, the only reason we saw Base Wars because we were that young age
You know, at
playing
that young age when yeah,
NES. And
NES.
of course, we went to the rental store. It's like, this is amazing. They have this game. I got to rent this game. Then I play the game, and I was like, man, I'm going to be renting this for a long time.
So before I get to my point, right? So basically, Real Steel is like real life version of Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
It is. This is Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
It is. So the thing I was talking about, like on the previous robots movies, we talked about robots stealing jobs. This is a primary example of robots taking jobs from legit like athletes boxing away. But then for me, right?
I wouldn't say that
For
much.
me, for me, I don't think I would really like robot boxing because like it's kind of like computers, right? You build the best computer, and then you have the best gaming system in the world, even though you could spend thousands of dollars. And I'm like, well, you know what? I could buy a PS5 or Xbox One X, and then it cost me $500. It would probably play the same game that your computer can, but then you spend a lot of money on like back in the day it was the game called Crisis. You need a really high-end video card just to play it, which you can probably buy in Xbox One or PS4. Both of these systems, just getting a video card that could play the same game that you could play on your computer. But with this, it feels like the not the character, like the robot sues. That's what they program is like you have the smartest guy, you got the AI in there, like hey, he could counter these things, he could learn these things, and then you buy the best steel or whatever, then you would have the best boxing robot. Like you could start from nothing. It's kind of like
Yeah,
if you
but
put Iron Man in
well,
this.
yeah. Well, we didn't have Iron Man in this. We
I'll be
had
like,
Wolverine. We
yeah.
had Wolverine and the Wasp in this.
And also the new Captain America,
Oh
Falcon.
yeah, we also had the Captain
And
America.
Blob was also in this from X-Men Origins.
Oh, that was Blob. Okay, I was trying to
Yeah,
figure out where I seen that guy. What a jerk.
yeah.
He was a jerk
Well, I
in this one
think
too.
they have him always play those jerk kind of, because this is not the only movie I seen him in where he plays a jerk. But I feels like
Okay.
every time I see him, Hugh Jackman is also in this movie. I'm gonna look this guy
Wow.
up. Is he like from the same country? What was his name? He's the Texan guy, right?
Well, he's if he's a Texan guy for real, he's not from the same country that
What? Oh,
Australia.
I let. I mean,
But
like,
anyways, about robots taking jobs. Now, if robots were to take sports jobs, which hardly any of us can get anyways, and they pay them
talk
tons
about
of money.
boxing.
Yeah, I'm not talking just about boxing. I'm talking about baseball, football. Any sport job is not really a job anyways, first of all.
You don't think
I
so?
don't care what they no. I just get paid a lot to play a game. And then they think it's a job. I'm like, shh,
That's funny. I see it as a
get around
job.
it. No, it's not a job. A job is something you have to do in order to support your family or support yourself, I should say.
Well, they're
Those
playing that to
guys,
support
those
themselves.
guys, those guys could go do a real job like we do instead of
Oh,
go play.
his name is Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Let me see. Oh, he's a
Duran Duran.
Canadian. Yeah.
No, it's even worse.
Oh, is he was? Oh, he was in.
Uh,
That's got me. Oh, he was the Butterfly Effect.
oh,
He was
well, I
in
don't
310 to
remember.
Yuma.
I don't remember. We need to start watching these movies again so we can find this guy.
Just to
We
find
probably
this guy,
he's
right?
probably right there in front of us. We're like, oh, why
I
can we
know,
didn't
right? We
notice
just
him the
can't
first
remember.
time? Probably been in almost everything we watch. We just
He's
don't notice.
also going to be in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay,
Proxima Caesar. Whoa.
so he's gonna be an eight.
Yeah. Huh.
So he's not. We're not gonna notice him.
It's just like the other movies except for this one and
Yeah,
X-Men.
yeah. It's just gonna be a voice.
Oh. Okay.
Well,
So
he
I
wasn't in the X Men.
He was in Wolverine, X-Men
Yeah.
Origins.
Okay. I
Yeah,
thought
that
you should.
X-Men.
Yeah.
I still count those
Okay.
Wolverine movies X-Men movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, they were
first of
better.
all,
Well, not all of them, except for X Men Origin. I mean, Wolverine Origins wasn't very good.
I thought this was a great father and son movie. It's very
Yeah,
simple that it feels like
I'd
it
say
could
this.
be like 80s or 90s theme, but they have it in the 2000s. 2011 this movie came out.
Yeah, 2011. We
And
saw
like
this at theater.
yes, we saw this in the theater. Like I love this because I love boxing first of all.
I love this because I love robots. I
Well,
mean,
and robots
come
too.
on. I was like, I could care if they did box or not, man. If you have robots, I'm going to go see it.
This is like a without using weapons. Right? Remember on G4 they have that robot wars that you build your own robot and then you just battle it out in this little box or you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
You
the
remember
ring,
Robot
yeah,
Wars? Yeah,
Robo,
yeah.
and it's still on, ain't it? I think it's like in another season. It's probably picked up by somebody else on another network. Yeah,
Oh,
but
I
I
don't know if
remember
it's
it
still
got real
on.
big, but it's still on. Or I think I'm pretty sure it still make. Well, they may quit. I don't know. For the longest time, it was still on. It got switched to another network. Another network picked it up. You couldn't see Prime.
Really? I
Yeah, they
thought it was
never really
pretty cool.
stopped. They never really stopped it. Yeah, I think a lot of people got bored though because they can only do so much. I think the eventually came out as a robot. It had a little spinning thing, and it hit all the robots, and then that's been the champion for almost I don't know how many years now. And everybody's like, "I'm all right, I'm tired."
Ah. So
Robot Wars, because remember they had Robot Wars in the Big Bang Theory.
yes,
Remember?
yes, they did. They had
And,
that.
and
Like it was early in the series where they
oh,
had
that's
the
what. Yeah, that
Robot
was like
Wars.
the
Yeah.
first season. I think it's on their first season. It's got one of my favorite lines. Crypty, remember Crypty goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, he's all upset about a girl." He goes, "Girls, we can't get girls.
That's why
That's
we
why we
fight
fight
robots.
robots."
Oh. When this movie started out, right? They built.
Plus, I'm going to also point out
Oh, go ahead.
another movie that had a robot fighting scene. It's real popular, and we already talked about.
Oh,
Uh, of course, as soon as I want to name the movie, I forget the name of
forgot what it is now.
the movie.
And you interrupt me just to let you know that
Oh,
you.
I do. Oh, yeah, I'll interrupt you
Uh,
later on in the show.
I'm
Yeah.
at the age where like I almost forgot what I was gonna say, and I think I just did. No, I was gonna say
All
that they
right.
built the character for Charlie, which
Big
is
Hero 6.
oh, that's right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fight robots.
All right, now I'm done interrupting you for a little
Okay,
bit.
so they built Charlie's characters. Really, that's how they start the story,
Wolverine.
right? And I thought I didn't know that was it a good idea just to have old beat up robots fighting bulls?
Yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense to me either. Like, you're gonna have a bull and you're gonna slap that bull in the face. Well, a bull could take a lot of punishment though.
It can, right? Because it's also like
Probably not a robot that big with a jackhammer insert on it. I mean, come on, what kind of crap is
see,
that? But yeah,
I thought
a
that
bull.
too.
Because let's say you could always hit a bull with a truck, and the bull's just gonna go. Huh, what do
Well,
you
oh, because
want,
the bull is
dude?
like 2,000 pounds,
They're
right?
big old animals. And their hide's really tough, so they're like, "What are you doing?
So how
Better
do
get them
people
off."
like tame a bull before? Like, I mean, I'm not familiar, so I'm asking you.
What do you mean tame them?
Like, how do you gather them to a ranch?
A
Like,
bull?
yeah, you gotta
What
take
do you?
several guys, right? Like,
Yeah, well, you just kind of you get on a horse, you got to run them into a trailer or a pen and hope that they don't decide that they're tougher than you.
okay, that's what I was thinking. Like, what if they decide not to give in? Then like,
Then you got a problem.
then you got a problem.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, actually, you just put one of them rings. You ever seen all those people's got
Yeah,
all
yeah,
those
with the
rings in
rings.
their
Yeah, yeah.
nose? Yeah, that's what you put on them. And then all you do is you grab a hold of that, and that's the most sensitive part on them, and you could take them pretty much anywhere you want to go.
Wow. So the first guy who ever found that out, right, had a
Well,
really tough time.
yeah,
So,
but that's the thing though. You got to think they can't see you. Most of them will let you walk right up to them, anyways.
oh, because
Most bulls aren't mean.
oh, really?
Yeah, most of them aren't that mean. That's a fighting bull. And then plus, that's actually a GCI bull, so we should just go ahead with that.
What is that? What is a GCI bull?
Computer generated bull.
Oh, are you talking about the movie? I'm talking about like real stuff.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh,
yeah. No,
CGI. You said
CG.
GCI.
Did I? I thought I
Yeah,
said
you said
GCI.
GCI. You said GCI. I'm like, you mean CGI, dude, man.
Oh, CGI. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
CGI.
CGI.
You said
I don't know
GCI.
why
I
I
was
said
like, that was
GCI.
something
The
else.
same
Yeah.
thing.
So, I don't think I have. Oh, I have. I seen a bull at the Fort Worth Stockyards, and you're right. It was so. It was pretty cool. We got Ethan and Heather on it, right? Then people have to guess how heavy it is. I'm like, dude.
Well, then you had a nice friendlier one.
We did have a nice friendly one because
But
the bull just stood there and it didn't do anything.
you're not gonna jump on a mean one.
Yeah, because they let us sit on it, and the bull was like, I don't think it's facing the bull at all. It's like you could probably sit like 4 or 5 people, and the bull is like holding his own. Hey, you're right. I didn't think like I thought all bulls were. I want to say aggressive, but I didn't know
And they
much about
can
them.
be. I mean, they can be. I mean, you don't want to just go out there and pop them on the
So I'm
face.
gonna ask you
Actually,
something.
if you hit them in the nose, they'll move too because they don't like that.
Oh, because that's you said the sensitive part, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
says it too. Punch them in
So
the
let me ask
nose.
you something. So probably a few years ago, when me and Heather go to this church in Plano, right? And then we saw a young pastor. He mostly does like married couples and stuff, but he has a men's group. And we were talking, a whole bunch of guys, and he was just talking about like ranching, right? And then I think you told me about this too. I think I taught you about this. And then when you buy a bull, you had to buy. You don't know the weight of it, and then people just bid on like $2-3, and then you told me like they go by the pound.
Oh, at a
Yeah,
cow cell that you
yeah, in a
bet by
cow
the
sale,
pound.
yeah. And then he told me like, dude, this guy goes up like you could apparently buy like bull semen. Is that a thing?
Well, yeah, well,
Oh,
it's the same as every other male creature on this earth.
oh, so you could buy bull semen.
I'm sure you can. I
Oh,
mean, I don't know why you look like you're
I, mean, I
surprised.
I don't know.
That
I don't
don't
know
make
about
any
this
sense.
stuff.
But you can buy it for any animal on this earth.
Oh, I didn't know you could buy it for any animal. No, why
That's
would?
how we get other animals.
Oh, so you
If
don't
the,
just
if the
buy
animal costs if the animal costs money, most likely you could buy it.
really? Because like he was telling me some ranchers who could
Well,
actually
I'm
sell
not like an
bull
expert
semen
on it,
for
but
500
yeah, you could
500K.
put it. That's also for horses,
Oh, really?
dogs.
Hmm.
That's how you get all these full-blooded animals.
Wow. 500K, is that
I'm
asking a
sure
lot for bull
even
semen?
humans go and sell that stuff. So and people pay for that.
Yeah, but
I'm
then
thinking a lot of those humans I wouldn't pay nothing
But then,
for.
like, I don't know about animals though. So when he said like bull semen
So
that's
you
like
know
about
about
this big
people.
for like 500K, I'm like, whoa. Can any ranchers afford 500K just for bull semen? And what do they do with that so they can produce like cows? So could they just inject it to their cow and they just have more cows?
Yeah,
Why would the
yeah.
ranchers do that instead of getting a bull? Is
Because
it
you get a
cheaper?
very
Is it
I
cheaper?
don't know. I
Oh,
don't know. I don't know. You're asking the wrong person. I don't know why you keep saying. Is it
you know
cheaper?
what?
It
I see.
sounds too expensive to me. That sounds actually ridiculous.
Uh, you know what?
But
I live in
sometimes
the
you.
area. I probably see bulls too, but I see longhorns, but they're not really bulls, right? No.
Now some of them can be.
Yeah, some of them can be. Some of them are pretty
Bulls.
huge, man.
You know what a bull is.
Yeah. There's a man cow, boy cow.
Oh, God,
Which is so funny because, like, with female
I,
cows, right, we just call them cows. We don't
I
have that
call,
for dogs, right? Like, we don't call a male dog a different name. Why is that?
you do got names for them. Though a cow is
Oh,
a cow. All right, let's say you got cattle.
okay.
A bull is male. A cow is
It's
female,
female, right.
but it's not. It's one that has had a baby.
Wait,
It's
when is.
mature.
Oh, it's
It's a
Mitch.
heifer. It's a heifer until it has a baby.
Oh, okay.
So you have heifers,
I like
and
that
then
we're learning about cows during Will Steel.
yeah. Well, we're gonna have to because I'll tell you why. Because all right, if you have a bull and you cut him,
Yeah,
get rid of his junk.
yeah.
He's a steer.
Oh,
Okay,
oh.
that means he's infertile. He can't do nothing. All right,
Yeah.
he just stands there and he eats grass and he gets fat and the
And
meat
then,
don't taste funky because you don't have all the testosterone. He's not really aggressive. That's why
oh.
you do it. It's like a dog.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure there's a name for it as a neuter dog.
yeah.
Puppy.
Oh.
A puppy. I don't know. I mean,
But there's for cows, yeah.
there is a name for a dog
I
that
mean,
has
like,
a
I didn't
baby.
go to studies on this thing, so, like, I'm not into the subject, so I don't know.
Oh, it should be general knowledge. I don't know
Why
why
would that
because
be general? No, that's what I'm
I
saying. Like,
read. There's a game I like. There's a game called BattleTech I like. Okay,
okay.
it takes pilots in the future, and then you fly out into space, and you settle all these planets, and you fight. Mainly, you fight robots. You got two big robots you set in. You fight each other, mechs. But
Okay.
anyways, the thing is, they have an article in there that says, "Oh, this planet, so planet, is known for its great green beef." And they use steers.
Oh, okay. I see what. Okay.
It says they use steers. They use steers on these space cows, and I'm like, you can't use a steer on nothing because it don't
Hey,
work.
man, this is a space term, okay? They use the word steer to mean something else, but then you're
No,
applying it to Earth knowledge.
they said they got Earth steers to
Oh, Earth steers. Oh, okay.
Earth steers to breed the cattle, and I was like,
Hey,
whoever
it's.
wrote this needs to probably pick
Did you
up a
talk
book
to
on.
you?
No, they just need to pick up
It
a
sounds
book.
like it
They
sounds
could
like
have just
I'm the
used the
guy who wrote it.
internet.
I'm like, oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, that'd be like saying they got vasectomy and go, oh yeah, I have kids all the
You know, it's really
time.
funny
Now that after I got a vasectomy,
now
I'm
that I
like,
think about it,
could be your wife is having a kid all the time, but
a
you're
lot of the
not.
cows I see around here, most of them are probably, well, not most of them, but there are probably a lot of bulls here too. Just that, like, every time I see a bull, it's probably on media, right? And they're always
Well,
aggressive. And you told me, like,
let me
oh, not all of them are aggressive.
just put it this way: a bull can't be a cow.
A bull can, yeah, bull can be a cow.
Well, I mean, if we were humans, I mean, it works different for the humans now since it's 2024. I mean, everybody identifies as something, but not in their world, not yet.
Huh. Interesting. So, like, well, in the beginning,
So technically, I'm just gonna let that one go.
yeah,
All right,
technically,
let's
let that one
just
go.
yeah,
Let's get
never
back to the
mind.
movie. We're
That
done with the
that makes some people
cow
mad.
portion of the podcast.
Yeah, because well, we're not because we didn't finish the story. Because anyways, that cow kills that robot,
It
which
does take a
which
part.
the only reason it kills that robot though is because Hugh Jackman's character is a grand boat, what do you call it, a showboater and
Yeah.
stuff. Because you see that lady standing over there, and he's like, hey, look at me, I'm not even gonna watch," which is funny because he gets focused later on in the movie.
Hmm. And also, this scene introduced the character, the Blob character that we were talking about, Kevin Durant. What is his name? Yeah, that
Yeah,
guy,
Cowboy Bob. Anyways, Cowboy Bob's a jerk.
Cowboy Bob.
Well, I don't know what his real name was I don't even know what his character name was.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh,
Curtis.
Ricky.
Ricky?
Yeah,
That sounds
Ricky.
about right.
Yeah, his name is
I knew
Ricky.
Cowboy Ricky. Anyways, Cowboy Ricky kind of tricks this guy into getting his robot out there, and then yeah, this guy's just a
Annihilated.
shy. No, this guy's a shyster.
Yeah.
Cowboy Ricky's a shyster, and then he's like, "I just want to beat the crap out of you, so I'm gonna wait until the end of the show, and then I'm gonna go out there and I'm just gonna beat the crap out of you just for fun."
And then basically he just lost money on the bet. Like that wasn't anything that was like, man, I wish someone would, kick his butt.
Yeah. But anyways, of course, the guy, of course, Wolverine's character just shows off, and he loses his robot because he's just such a I
Yeah.
don't know. And here's the funny thing: he wakes up in the morning. He's only got 2 beers. He's acting like he's like way drunk. He drank all night, but all we see is 2 beers laying on the floor, and
That's
they're not.
all you saw though.
They're
That's the
just
two beers that he
Budweiser.
brought back to the trailer.
Oh, just Budweisers. Two
Okay.
Budweisers. Oh my god. They
You're
weren't
trying to
Budweiser. Yeah,
justify, like you're trying to make this movie about like you hate
that
it or
should have been.
something.
Well, no, it's not. But the funny thing is, you hear the sound effects where he walks over. It's like he stumbles over tons of bottles, but you never see any.
Oh,
So
because you
how
can't
you
show too much
know?
Budweiser.
I guess you can't, but then, it's funny. I thought it shows just 2 bottles. It's pretty clean. It's like it's supposed to be junky, but I'm thinking, man, that's pretty clean for a lot of people I've seen drink. And he stumbles in there. You hear all these bottles, but then it shows that scene where he's standing there. There's nothing on the floor. I was
Yeah.
like, so what do you stumble in? And of course, he wants to charge those kids. What do you want to charge those kids? $20 to take that?
$5 to take a
Oh,
picture.
$5. Of course, I like it because those kids got that arm.
Yeah, like
He's like,
five
hey, give
dollars.
me
You
my
want
arm
it?
back. Yeah, you want it? You give us $5.
That's so funny because like I didn't think the world would work like that. Like, hey, this is my robot. You can't just take my stuff even though it's
Hey,
broken.
hey, if it flies out of the ring at a rodeo, it's
Oh, it's a
anybody's.
rodeo rule. Okay.
I don't really know if it's a rodeo
Oh,
rule,
okay.
but
I mean, I don't know.
let me put it this way: if it's a rodeo, depending on what town it is in, I think they get to make whatever rules they want if you're an outsider.
Oh, it's like a western, yes.
Yeah, I
On the
mean, what are you
Wild
gonna
West out
do?
here.
What's he gonna do? He had to run. He doesn't have a robot to fight for him. I
Yeah.
mean, he's gonna have to jump on his truck to leave. Which, by the way, was an awesome looking truck.
Yeah, it was. Right. It's very futuristic. I mean, for this for
It's
this
very
movie, yeah.
futuristic, which is funny since it's an old truck. It's an international. It's a
Yeah.
real truck.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah, it's a real truck. I don't know what year it is. It's got to be like from the 50s or 40s. It's probably more
Oh.
50s
But it looks
or
very
60s,
modern
maybe
though.
60s. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's an international harvester truck. They got bought out. That's before they got bought out by Case. So that's got to be a long time ago.
Huh.
And it's
Oh.
cool because they had those little windows on the front that you could see while you're sitting. You could look out like on a helicopter.
Yeah, and then inside the
I
dash
think
looks very
I-
futuristic.
I
Looks like
think I
the
would say-
Iron Man stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, well, he added all that. That's not on the real truck, obviously.
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, no, yeah, but for
But
the
yeah,
movie,
but I mean, the truck though, it had those glass down there. Let's say if you're driving because you sit so high,
Mhm.
it allow you to see the ground where you put your tires and stuff. Because you're trying to see over a dash in a truck, it's hard, even
Yeah.
a pickup truck. But then that one, you just kind of look back, look down there, you can see those people.
oh,
I mean, I would love that truck. That'd be awesome.
you
I
know
would
what?
take that truck and run over that guy's bull in him, and then
Oh, I want to ask you, when you said like you could probably hit a bull with a car and it may not do anything, right? Are you talking about like a Honda Civic or something,
I
like
don't
a
know.
small car?
I mean, yeah, all right. You probably wouldn't if it's a small car. I mean, come on. If you hit a deer and a deer's small, it'll tear up your car to pieces.
But the deer is not as heavy as a bull, though.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
what do you think a bull will do?
Ooh. A bull
You probably
is
tear your
heavier than
car.
some cars.
Yes, that's what I say. He'll probably just look at you and think, why'd you tear up your truck? That's why you get those. That's why you see all those farmers with those gigantic grill guards on their pickup truck. That way you can bump them out of the way.
Now we're going back to the bull. Hold on. I'm looking at cars that weigh under
Well,
2,000
while we
pounds.
are spacing all that, I already tell you that they're
There's
probably bigger than
20
some before.
cars that is lighter than or less than 2,000 pounds.
So I guess
Oh,
that's why
probably
you're.
the small cars like the Fiat, the Morgan three wheeler. I don't even know what that is.
Wow.
Lotus Elaine, Elon,
Okay,
or like,
cool. Yeah, all right, let's go.
huh? I just want to
And
see what kind
you're
of car
naming
they could
sports
drive.
car. You're naming sports cars we
Yeah,
can't afford. Those are for like those are like sporty cars like that Morgan and stuff. I can't afford. I can't afford those. I mean, I guess I could afford them, but that'd be all my money I
a
got.
Mini Cooper will probably.
And it's a car. It wouldn't make any sense because I'm like, well, I'm not gonna drive to work in one of them.
How much
Well, I
does a
could, but I
Mini
don't want to.
Cooper
I'm
weigh?
sure not gonna do it no Morgan. I tell you that.
Oh, a Mini Cooper can weigh between 2,700 and 4,000 pounds. Huh. Okay.
All right, cool. Yeah, now we know.
And
Yay.
so besides the Wops and Wolverine, I mean, I don't even know who the kid is. The
I don't know who the
the
kid is, but
actor, right?
hey, I know who he is. He's Wolverine Jr.
Dakota or whatever. Let me see. Oh, okay. He's not in a lot of stuff.
Okay,
Oh, he
maybe he
stopped
decided.
acting. He was in. Oh, he played young Thor.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, in the Thor movie. Interesting. And
Huh.
then that's it. He's not in anything after
Okay.
2014.
So basically, all these people in this movie went on to Marvel or Fox. Hey,
Oh.
what? Who produced this? Who was producing this? Was this a Fox?
Oh, this is a Disney movie.
Oh, this is a Disney movie.
Walt
Wow.
Disney Studios and
Can you see this on
DreamWorks.
Disney Plus? I wonder.
Well, it's also
I don't.
DreamWorks too. It's distributed by Disney. The
But who
production
owns
is called
DreamWorks?
21 Labs. Who does own DreamWorks?
Because didn't they don't they cease to be their
Isn't
own?
it NBC?
Or maybe they don't.
It's Steven Spielberg.
Maybe they're still on their own.
Oh, the parent is Amblin Partners.
Okay, so Spielberg went ahead and bought it.
Yeah. So it's,
Oh well.
it's made with Disney. So it's like two
Well, I
companies
know.
working together.
Okay, well, so it should. All right. Well, it's a Disney movie. That's awesome.
So let's point out the director is gonna Sean Levy is the one that is gonna direct Deadpool and Wolverine, but he did other stuff too.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want to talk about the boy. I mean, like they added that story about like the mom
Oh, they
dying.
had
So
to.
it
Well, they
had that
had to.
Disney element in it. The mom dies, right? Now the kid
Yeah.
is by himself with another parent.
Yeah. And then Wolverine has to come in like, doesn't even want him, but then decides, oh, I like this kid. This kid's awesome.
Right. I did like the money though. One of my favorite things about this movie is because you gotta have Max back in New York by August 27, which is my birthday. And I think I kind of remembered that when we saw the movie. Thought, like, oh, that's so cool. Of all the
Wow.
random days, they put August 27th. And I think
Wow.
the other cool thing I thought was when they bought Noisy Boy, because he's been to Japan, right? So that he speaks Japanese
Yeah.
because they put the voice recognition on him, and it sounds like something that Asians would definitely do. Like, how do I make this more convenient for myself? Because that's how I am. And when Max speaks Japanese, like, you speak Japanese? Yeah, because I played the Japanese video games. You play them in Japanese? And he said, like, well, the Japanese bootlegs are always better because he played them in the US. And that reminds me of when I was in Hong Kong, right? A lot of games, like, are a lot cheaper. Like, the Switch is like almost $40 US when the games here are 60. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe it's just this town. So I had to Google it. Apparently, especially in Hong Kong, games are cheaper because due to there's not a lot of competition, right? Everybody's selling the same thing. No one is going to sell it for more than $40 US. And then I talked to one of the shop owners. Like I thought all the games like $40 until they get to a game that's not very popular, like Paper Mario. And I was like, hey, how come Paper Mario was so much more expensive? The guy explains to me like, well, because the culture here, right? A lot of the this generation, because the console is so far advanced, they want to see stuff in 3D. Like if you put a game like Paper Mario, it's just 2D graphics, right? No one's gonna play that. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Then I asked him like, I bought the new Super Mario game. I forgot what it's called now, but it has Chinese in it, Chinese subtitle, and I'm like, oh, is it gonna work in my U.S. system? He told me all Switch games works in all systems. So if this Switch game you bought here, right, it offers Japanese, Chinese, Korean, English, Italian, France. You don't even have to pick the option. It's because the settings you put in your Switch, if you pick American, the game will automatically display English. So you could buy a Chinese copy and it still display English because the extra feature is having the Chinese language. By default, it will always have Japanese, English, Spanish, French, those kind of languages. So whatever setting you put on your Switch, and I'm like, wow, Nintendo has come a long way, and I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, like I don't see PlayStation and Xbox doing that stuff. Like, hey, offer Chinese, but then it's so funny because like the shop only tells me like no one listens to this stuff in Chinese. All of us listen to Japanese. I'm like, you know what? You're right. When I was here, I listened to Japanese too. When I watch like Dragon Ball, anything, we watch it in Japanese and read Chinese subtitles.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing here.
Well, a lot of
Well,
people
not
prefer to,
exactly.
yeah, but for
We listen to
anime.
Japanese. We listen to Japanese and read the English subtitles.
Yeah, I think a lot of times we didn't want to wait, like especially for Initial D, right? Like there's no one dubbing it in English at that time. So whatever I bought on eBay is Japanese, and then like sometimes poorly translated Japanese, I mean English, but we understand what it means. Like, oh, this is what they're trying to say. Right? Didn't you watch the Initial D the same way? Like the one that you watched was because that was only available in Japanese and we could watch it with English subtitles.
Yeah, yeah. I watched the. I guess I said the bootleg, but the problem is it wasn't English what I saw. So,
Yeah. Did you ever
but yeah,
watch
yeah.
them in
But it
English?
wasn't. Was it? Huh?
Did you ever
Yeah, I did
watch?
watch. Yeah, I did. It's just not as good.
So
No, it's not. It's
is
really
it
not
the
very good at
first
all.
time they trying to change everybody's name and they change the music?
Oh
Because
yeah, well I watched that one. Well, that was
yeah,
what was that? Tokyo Pop or whatever it's
yeah,
called.
something
Yeah,
like
they
that.
did that and they redid it and they changed the names. The thing is, they re-edited it too. They re-edited it. They like took cuts out of Initial D, like maybe a scene where the car's sliding or something, and they put it in it or slow it down or speed it up and stick it back in there. And you're like, oh, I seen this scene. I know the scene's in this episode. Or I seen that scene in that episode. And I'm like, why did they do that? And of course, they did change all their names.
Yeah,
Like Ryusuke is Rai.
yeah. They
So
tried to
his name is. I
shorten it.
was like, what?
I
I'm like,
think I saw a few
and
episodes and I
they, but
didn't
the
like
thing,
it.
but they also changed the language. They changed the story's the same, right?
Yeah.
But maybe the dialogue is different.
Yes.
They think they're increasing it, but sometimes they just added a whole bunch of other stuff to it. Oh yeah, so said this, and they'll say something. They're trying to have a conversation that's not even in. It really don't even need. They put a lot of extra crap you didn't need
So
in there.
so for me, right, it's like when I first watched it, like, why did they put so much effort and work into this? Because later they changed it all back. They
Yep, they changed it back.
changed the name back to like just say it in Japanese, and then all the dialogue is the same, all the scenes are the same, and they put this music back the same because they trying to
Yeah, because they
change
did
the
they
soundtrack.
well they changed the soundtrack. No, and they used like American music that you would
Yeah,
know, groups but they weren't really good songs.
I
I
think it's
can't
because
remember
we
any.
got used to whatever that Eurobeat music was already
Yeah,
on it,
well,
right?
I
And then
like the
now we listen to
Eurobeat
something.
because you
Yeah,
see, even a lot of that Eurobeat was in English.
yes,
A lot of the race songs. Because I liked Move, the main group
yes,
in the
the Japanese
Japanese,
group. Yeah.
but they used English and Japanese.
Well, a lot of people,
But
yeah, a lot of them do, yeah.
there was like several battles where they used the Euro song, and I loved it. I even went and had to go hunt them down
Oh,
down,
so I could, yeah,
and
so we
bought them.
could
I
listen
bought
to it in
some
a
of them.
car.
Yeah, I bought some of them. Yeah, so I could listen to them in the car.
So it's so funny when I drive a van now, right? And I sometimes I'm, you know what? Let me listen to some Eurobeat, and it got me in that move, that groove of Initial D driving a minivan.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, it's just I thought it was really good
Yeah,
music.
that's very Japanese driving a
So
minivan.
sometimes in that, like, hold on, I gotta cough real quick. In that thought process, I wonder, like, let's just say we never watched the Japanese version. And then if the English one came first, and then we watched that, right? Our opinion would be like, oh, this is just fine because we never know of the Japanese one.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah. I
like,
wonder.
yeah, I
Well, I
wonder if
don't
like
know.
who
I wonder
watched
if it
that.
would have. I wonder if it would have, because like I said, I watched the Japanese version first,
Yeah.
and you watched it enough, and like I'm stuck glued to it, so I already
Yeah.
know what they're saying, what the lines are and stuff. And then when you watch the English version, it's like this is not what they said.
Yeah, it sucks.
But I think it doesn't really matter that because it's be like the movie. Okay, they came out with the live action Initial D movie.
Yeah. That my people made.
It's not horrible. It's not horrible, but I don't like it that much. I mean, I'll watch it and it's okay. I'll watch it because it's a car movie. I like car movies. But the problem is, if I was to put it against Initial D that I know,
Yeah.
oh, it sucks, man. It sucks really bad. Oh, it's awful because they cut a whole bunch of stuff. They changed all the characters. I mean, they changed a lot of the characters. In Itsuki's more likable in the cartoon, but Itsuki on this one is just like,
Oh,
what,
like a
dude?
witch jerk. Yes.
He's just
I remember.
he's not anything like the Itsuki from the
I just want to point
Duos.
out, it's so funny that Will still make us talk about bulls and like animation, just because one
Okay,
thing they said.
let's just go ahead and jump to this because after we realize the kids, he doesn't want the kid, he's got to go get the kid. Then
Hmm.
that's when we see the wasp, and the wasp turns out to be his girlfriend that he's hanging out with now.
Yeah, I didn't understand that relationship. Was it
That
really
was a weird
girlfriend?
relationship. I could tell because I was thinking, hey, he's over there looking at them girls at the rodeo. So I thought, what are you doing? But he lives with her.
Well, because they have to, because there's no other place for him to stay, right? That part
Well,
makes sense.
there's no other place for him to stay because nobody else wants him either. So she
Yeah,
must be his girlfriend because she's letting him stay there, but he is paying rent. But
yeah,
she's letting him not pay rent. So basically, she's like getting a bad deal because she owns this really nice building.
yeah.
She can't get any rent because he's staying there with her, and she fixes all his robots for him.
So
Yes, she does.
is that gym used to be for humans, but then when things
It's
get
probably anybody'd
evolved,
show up. It's
now
probably
it's
for
just for
humans, but
robots.
it's probably in this story. It's probably supposed to have been for humans, and it probably was always humans because he trained at that gym. It's probably never for robots. He
Oh,
got in the robots, so that's what she's down with the robots. You know, because see, her dad trained fighters
yeah, I heard that's
and
from fighters.
trained Wolverine as a fighter too, and that's the only reason he stayed around. Which doesn't make any sense because where does this kid come in? Is it because he knew her and then he went and had a kid with somebody else and then he went back to her?
Well, I think she was just the daughter, and
Or
then he always had a relationship somewhere else, or maybe just a
okay,
one night stand. It's an ons, a one night stand.
okay, well, it doesn't really take because I mean, yeah. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't move the storyline,
No,
but
so
the
that's why
part
it's like
that
an '80s part.
but the gym does move it on because apparently that's where they train Jim, and the only reason she's not having anybody at the gym is because humans don't really want to fight anymore. They'd rather go watch robots fight. And
So
I mean, the neat thing about the story is we get the story, we understand the robot fighting because he tells the kid. He always tells the kid a lot of stuff, and some of it's cool and some of it's annoying because, like a lot of the fight scenes,
yeah,
he'll take time to tell the robot what to do. And he'll stop, put his hand over his, all right, I got him on the rings, and then he'll be fighting. Okay, I'm going to beat him now, and then he start fighting. It's like, okay, dude, just fight the robot. You don't got to stop and tell the kid what you're about to do because
yeah.
this is the movie and we can see this.
So I probably know your opinion on this because you don't care about sports, right? So you rather watch because you said you rather watch these robots fight.
I
But
would rather watch robots fight.
for me, right, like Adam, he was the underdog. Like all these other
Yeah,
robots he's going against, like he only
yeah.
had the advantage
He was not
because he
even
was a
fighting a
small
robot.
Yeah, he was a sparring
But
one.
here's the thing, though. To me, I'd think, all right, so this you got a robot. It's made to take hits.
Yes,
That means this robot can take out any amount of punishment. And you seem to be a guy that needs a robot that can take some punishment.
right.
So that would make an excellent robot
Well,
for
it's not
fighting.
it's supposed to take hits, but it's not really supposed to hit back. So
Hey, why can't you program them to do anything? I mean,
so
come on. We already know this from living in this world that if you can program, you can almost program anything to do
right.
anything you want.
But well, what I was
I mean,
trying to
come
say
on,
is
people.
that
It's like when we had little cell phones. Remember the first cell phones with the crappy screens come out, and then people started putting games in. No, it's
the snake
iPods.
games.
Remember the iPods?
Oh yeah, yeah.
People started playing games on them. Started programming where you could play games on an iPod. So you can program anything to do something you
So
want to.
where I was going with, right, like for me, this movie, I prefer real people fighting because like there's a lot of workout that you have to do yourself, right? Like
Yeah,
diet and things that you do.
yeah.
And I was trying to
That
point out earlier in the
no
show that
interest
like
to be.
it's programming and like how much you can afford to put on your robot. That's how
Yeah,
like this feels like this is a game for the rich because I remember when I first started liking boxing, right? It's because of Mike Tyson. The first time, like when we have HBO, I watched the HBO boxing stuff, and the first time I saw Mike Tyson, like he's a pretty small guy. Okay.
So what you're telling me is there's a limit because there's a limit to how much money you can put in a human to get him a good fighter.
Actually, sometimes you don't even have to.
Yeah,
Because you could
you're
be
right.
poor and then you still could eat right, but like you just won't eat
Yeah,
like
I mean, yeah, you're right. There's a limit to how far somebody can
it
go
was
with
kind of like
money,
my
though.
computer example before. But then Adam kind of reminds me of Mike Tyson because Adam, like, since he was just a spawn robot, right? He was smaller. The only reason why Mike Tyson got into heavyweight championship, because I don't know if you know this, Mike
I
Tyson,
don't.
his size and weight, he's a middleweight. Kind of like that kid. Oh, well, he's not a kid anymore. He's like our age. Floyd Mayweather, right? He's a middleweight. And Mike Tyson at that time, he don't want to fight middleweight. He want to get into heavyweight. So what he does is like,
Yeah,
hey, how do I get qualified for heavyweight? Well, you gotta be at least like 215, 220 pounds. So he just met that goal just to fight people who are way bigger than he is. Because the first time I saw Mike Tyson fight, Mike Tyson's like 5'10". He's fighting this guy 6'5", right? Like just on the ring, it's like, man, he's not gonna beat him, right? Like this guy is 6'5", he's 5'10". They're gonna smoke Mike Tyson, dude. Mike Tyson beat up that dude by the eighth round. Like you could tell, like, oh, this smaller guy is winning, and he's dancing around the ring, toying the guy who has a longer reach and a bigger build. Then he beat him up. So
okay.
from the way I saw Adam, right? What was that? The zoo did the first fight they got him in.
No, no, that was the second fight.
Oh, was this the second fight? What was the first fight?
Wait, no, but that was the first
Yeah,
fight,
the
didn't
first
it?
fight
Yeah, it was
because
the
they
first
won
fight because
two
that's when
thousand
you learn.
dollars. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
because they
that was the
won,
first fight.
and they're like,
They got
because
him in.
even Hugh Jackman or Charlie thought like, man, he's not gonna do anything because it's a spawn robot. But once he get past the 30-second mark, I was like, whoa, 30
Yeah,
seconds,
but it
the
don't
fight's
make any
almost over.
sense. The robot has to be able to hit back for the guy can block too. Learn to block.
Yes,
So
it learned to block and like,
it pretty much that robot could do anything that robot it fights does.
yes,
It's made to block. That's why the Zeus people didn't like the robot because the thing is, it automatically knew when to block. It didn't really have to have a person tell it to block. It already knows when to put his feet
yeah.
up, his hand up. But anyways, since you're talking about Mike Tyson, blah blah blah,
Hmm.
did you watch the credits on this?
I did not.
In the
Why?
credits, did you need the consultant, the boxing consultant? Is Sugar Ray Leonard on this movie?
No, really?
Yeah, it says it on the. It almost in the first set of credits after it tells the actor, it says boxing consultant, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Oh, that's cool.
So there you go. That's some cred right there.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, like Sugar Ray is older than our generation. Like, if there was boxing, it was probably like
So a
our
lot of
dads or
people
something.
older
Yeah.
in our
Yeah.
generation, to be honest with you.
But it's like Ali is not my generation of boxers.
Not my generation either. He's
Yeah,
older
that's what I'm
than
saying. But I was like, huh, that is pretty cool though. So that way the robots can look like they know what they're doing.
yeah. Yeah, well, it's the fight. The most of the fight scenes, I guess, for Wolverine, he looked like he knows what he's doing. Even though he's doing most of the, it looks like they keep using the same moves, though. But anyways,
Just to make it simplistic, yeah.
just to make it simple. But anyways, the robots are pretty cool in this movie. Of course, when they go to the pro level, because most of everybody's got this little hand thing. They kind of wave
Oh, look at a
around.
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of like a big old Nintendo Switch. And then of course you got the talking deal. Not a
Yeah,
big
but
deal,
not everybody has
but you
that
notice,
too.
but you notice when they go to the pro, they got a seat that they can set in and monitor everything on their
Yep.
robots. While the other guys, they don't have any of that
So
stuff.
isn't it kind of like just playing like a video game, but then you have actual
Yes,
hardware to carry
basically,
this one?
it's
Yeah.
basically like playing a video game. And of course, the robots like Zeus does most of the work himself until
Yes.
they think they need to intervene. But that's the thing, though. But robots, I can see what you're saying, though. Fighting people, we're just gonna put this out. If you're humans, you could get a lot of money and you can get them better trainers. You
Yep.
get them more knowledge and stuff. But there is a limit to what you can do.
Yes.
But with a robot, it's like race cars. The more money you spend, better chance you're going to win.
Yep.
I mean, this robot you can't take this many hits. I'm going to put titanium on it. This robot needs to hit a little harder. I'm going to put hydraulic system in his arm.
Yeah.
This robot needs to move a little quicker. I put better motors. I'm in more money. I could put all kinds of new motors on it.
So based on your point, right, I want to piggyback on what you said. It feels like they concentrate on all these things for Zeus, but then like
Yeah.
they probably
Well-
guarantee it on like, hey, you know what? If we can beat any robot, because every boxing match is 3 minutes, right? If we could beat any robot in 2 minutes, we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about like, hey, what if
Yeah.
Zeus went out of energy, or what if he overheats? Like,
Yeah, he didn't
won't have
to
to because of
he won't have to.
statistics.
But you got to remember. But you got to also remember Zeus Zeus was a winner because Zeus had the most money. They put the most money in Zeus.
Yep.
I mean, they made a company just to have a robot that would be a champion, and they hired a super designer. This guy, and he's probably stole technology. He's probably was a grifter too. You know, he probably did. He probably designed Zeus around, but he thought
The
he probably thought nobody would look at the old robots like Adam,
yeah.
because he probably took stuff from Adam, systems from Adam, and put it in Zeus. And
Well,
he
they
thought, oh crap, I got a
what
problem now.
Adam got parts from Noisy Boy because of the
Well,
voice
yeah,
thing and some
Adam
of the
got
stuff.
some
Yeah.
things, but I mean the main system of Adam. I bet you that guy probably knew a lot more about
Yeah.
Adam than
Oh,
Wolverine and the kid
I
did.
want
He's
to
probably like a
complain about a couple of things in this movie.
all
First
right.
of all, it's about that junkyard they went into, right? First of all, it's like very Metal Gear Solid with
Oh, that's
the
very good.
lights
Don't
and
let the
the
spotlight hit you. But the
yeah,
problem is, it's probably computer animated. As
yeah,
long as they can't see you on the screen,
yeah.
they
They
don't
can't see
care.
it. Yeah. So the other thing is like when they get to the junkyard part, like with the clip part, I'm like, come on, really? If
It
I
was
was
awesome.
it's pretty cool, but then like the
But you know what
kids
that reminds
slide.
me of when that kid slides off and he almost falls off the cliff? It
Yeah.
reminds me of From Dusk to Dawn. Remember From Dusk to Dawn?
Oh yeah, at the end,
Where
yes.
at the end it has that cliff and all this
I
people's
do.
stuff is all down in there.
Yeah. Oh, I did think about that, but it sure does. So, and it feels like okay, if my son was like that, dude, I would be super pissed. Like I would have, but then for me, right, I would have told him beforehand, like, hey, don't walk too far, stay by me because there's a cliff here. Because obviously, Hugh Jackman has been there by stealing parts or whatever from a junkyard, you know.
Yeah, because of course he tells us the story of the
So that
body.
bothers me a little bit. The second thing that bothers me,
Well, that was it. He didn't think that kid was gonna go over there.
oh yeah,
He's not really much of a dad,
yeah.
anyways.
So the second thing that I see, I understand that point. So, but this thing that bothers me the most, he told him like, hey, if you want the robot, right, then you haul this all yourself. So when I saw that, because Hugh Jackman was just standing there, right? Now, to me, I'm pretty sure he's an adult. He's got stuff to do. I would never wait for a few hours just for a kid to pick up the robot because, like, hey, I'm giving this kid a ride, right? I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna help this little MFer because he's gonna. If I don't help him, we're gonna make a 20-minute thing into a 5-hour thing. So that bothered me
Well,
a little bit,
but here's the
logically.
thing about him. He's thinking this kid's just gonna give up, and then he's gonna show up.
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm gonna
that
tell him,
too.
then
Yep.
I'm gonna tell him I told you so.
That's a good thought.
Because that's what he was. That's what he's gonna be a jerk to him. And he said when that kid come back, because he made that kid walk out there because
So,
he already drove down the road
oh,
away from that place.
so from that
Remember?
scene, it's just show. Yeah, you're right. So the
He's
determination
already
of this
down the
kid.
road. So that kid, yeah, that kid had to dig up the robot himself.
Yep.
Because Hugh Jackman goes, because Hugh Jackman's character probably thought, oh, he'll go out there, he'll get wet, he'll come up
He'll
to
just
the truck right
give
now.
up.
So
Yeah.
he probably sat in the truck there for a while, and the kid never showed up. So says, well, I'm gonna drive down the road. So that way, when he comes out, he can't find me. And he's gonna get scared. He's gonna have to walk down the road. Well, see, that kid dug that robot up, put it in that cart, and he went. Not only did he not see Hugh Jackman at the gates when he left, he went down the road looking for
Yeah.
him.
Well, yes. Yeah, he did.
Because Hugh Jackman had to leave eventually because you can't be sitting in front of a junkyard because
Yeah.
they're going to go, oh, I wonder who's in there. But of course, he went probably further down the road. He's probably sitting there thinking, this kid's going to have to come up empty handed to put half of his work in and he get that robot. Then he sees that kid pulled the whole robot out.
Yeah, you're right. And I want to point out before I forget, right? This movie did also point out that like they want robot with faces because they said that in the junkyard. Like the first generation, like the first few generations, they prefer robots have the faces so that way the humans can identify with them better. But
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then later on, like the first professional fight was what did they call that robot? Twin Cities? Why would they
Oh,
need
yeah.
two faces? Like,
Oh,
why
it's
would they
just for
need two
show.
heads?
It's
Oh,
for
just for
show.
show. Okay.
Because you got to remember a lot of these people, this is kind of in the future, but a lot of them probably grew up on rope because sock'em robots look funny.
Yeah.
But it's all about show. Come on, it's like wrestling. Why do
Oh,
you need Captain Lou Albano with a bunch of rubber bands hanging off his face? You know
And
what I'm saying?
like the for show with the dancing, that was pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a show. They go to another level. It's a show. People want to be entertained. People don't want to see a bunch of guys. They got tired of people watching people fight because there's only so much you can go. But in a robot deal, you could punch the heads off.
Oh, they get to do the spinning thing.
You'll see
Yeah.
you'll see all kinds of different moves. Of course, you got a robot that's got two controllers on it, which
Yeah.
kind of limits itself. But
Two heads, two
two
controllers.
heads. I mean, you can have robots that blow fire. You can have robots do anything because it's a show. Because we already saw several robots that were just odd looking. I mean, even the robot, what is his name? Nasty Boy.
Oh, Noisy Boy.
Noisy Boy. I almost called him Nasty Boy.
Yeah.
Noisy Boy. Look at him. He's all got this weird armor and all this paint job on him.
Yep.
He's constantly changed that way he can keep up, and everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
He kind of retires. It's just a machine you use. Next person kind of builds it up and then promotes it, fights for a while, and then sells it off.
That's pretty cool.
You see, and apparently most of those robots don't get destroyed too much in the professional league.
No.
They fight and they watch them, but in the other deal, you fight till you destroy the robot.
And you know what? You know what I like about this? Well, like if you damage the robot, right? It just take like maybe a week or two to get it replaced with real life, right? If you get in a boxing match, it's like, dude, probably have to wait for 9 months before you can start fighting again because all your face got a healed up things
Yeah,
like that. So that's
yeah,
one
they're just
advantage
robots.
of robots because like a lot of times when like they show these athletes, right? Like people who had like their leg cut off from the war or whatever, right? And they get this metal leg or whatever, the new stuff,
Yeah,
and then I'm not dissing these people, right? But what I see is like, oh, this guy can climb Mount Everest. He can run a lot longer. But yeah, because he won't get cramps. You know what I'm saying? Like in that
yeah.
part where the calves are like, oh, he could run. You don't give him a second chance. Like, dude, my calves right now, I need a deep tissue massage because it's affecting me. Where like, oh, yeah, now I would like one of those metal legs because then I could run long. You know what I'm talking about?
You're prosthetic.
Yeah, prosthetic legs. So I'm like, oh, of course they can. They can climb whatever they want because that muscle, I'm saying like, well, I guess the thigh have to probably work a little bit harder, but then some of the muscles won't tense up like our normal bodies will. So I do like the robot aspect of being able to fight because then you could take it anywhere.
I like that aspect because I'd rather just watch robots.
It's kind of like
Oh, by the
baseball,
way, I just thought it Darwin. The Darwin's the name of the robots that they use to play soccer with.
Oh, Darwin.
It's not really spelled like Darwin, but it's Darwin.
Oh, it sounds like.
Yeah. I think you just type Darwin. Can't remember how they spell it. And
Well, I'm just gonna
play
type in
soccer.
Darwin soccer robots.
Yeah, because they're
Darwin.
not really playing the soccer.
Huh.
You see it?
Well, there's a lot of YouTube videos. Like it says Tim
Yeah.
Darwin, like the DAR is all capitalized,
Yeah.
and like it's back in 2011 too.
Yeah. They made them, and I don't know. I wanted one of those robots, but they're like $12,000. So I was like, oh, I can't get one of those.
$12,000 is
They're
cheaper
probably
than a
like,
car.
I think they're like 9,000 now. They're probably even cheaper than that now. I mean, they're open source, but then it's the servos in them that cost you so much money.
Huh.
But it's
So
a pretty neat looking robot, per se. And if he falls down, he can get back up. He's one of those robots falls down, he does a little flip, gets back up.
hey, why do you think on Real Steel, right? They have to make the robots so huge for boxing. Like, why don't they make them like human size?
Well, they probably
Kinda like,
start off small. That's the thing. It's like anything. Everything starts off small and always gets bigger and badder. Come on, it's more impressive because you got to think. Adam, look at Adam. He was lean, short. He was almost human size.
yeah, small. Yeah, he's
But
still
you
a little
notice
bit
every
bigger.
robot he come across got
It's
bigger
bigger.
and
I know.
bigger.
That's why I
And
told you like it reminded me of Mike Tyson.
because it's like the robot at the zoo. That robot had a hammer. I mean, yeah, he had like a hammer thing on his arm. But look how big he was. He was wider. He just
Yeah, it
got
was
bigger.
more
They
by
just want to make it bigger and bigger. That way, people go, "Whoa!" Because like Zeus, you're not gonna have a little robot named Zeus. You want a big monster of a robot. Because see,
Yeah.
you got enough money. You want everybody to see. It's like cars. People don't need all these. People don't need anything bigger than a Honda Civic.
Well, I
But
would say a
people
good
try.
size sedan, not a
But
Honda
people,
Civic.
but people keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger
That's why we
cars.
have like a long
Like sports
cab, right,
cars.
of
It's like sports
Suburbans.
cars. It's like sports cars. They used to be real small, nimble, quick. But sports cars are huge now.
Well, except for the new Toyota Supra, that's still kind of small.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
sat in the new, I sat in
I
that
have
new
a, I
Toyota
have a,
Supra, and like that's
I
kind of small.
well, we're just gonna call. We need to start doing it. Call it what it really is. The
What?
BMW Supra. Yeah, you said the BMW Supra. It's not even. It's not even Toyota's car, really. They just put their name on it.
You know, I sat in your Eclipse, right? That car is roomier than the Toyota Supra. And I was bigger at the time, and I'm skinnier now. And I sat in a Toyota Supra, and I
So,
was like, "This is kind of small."
so you didn't enjoy it at all.
I did not,
I,
because
I know
it
because you
was
always tell me.
very
Because I
tight.
remember you always tell me your car's too small. Your car's too small.
Yeah. Well, I still like it though, the Eclipse, but then the new Toyota Supra, I was like, Just is
Wow.
very
You meant the
small.
BMW Supra,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sorry, the Supra. I gotta stop saying Toyota. It's just the Supra, right? But then
Yeah.
Heather used to drive a Miata. I feel like the Miata has more space than this Supra. I don't know what it is. It's like the interior is too big. Like, what the hell is going on?
Uh, I don't know.
All right. So, you know what? This movie didn't end the way I thought it would because he just signed the parental rights. Because I forgot how it ended, right? I knew they were going to fight the final fight,
Yeah.
but then.
Yeah, that it did end like that. But I mean, I think it leaves at the end of the movie that leaves you thinking that though he's going to spend a lot more time with the kid, even
Yeah, the
though
kid.
because I mean, because at the end the aunt it shows the aunt really didn't really care that he spent time with him. It's just she didn't see him ever coming to this kid's rescue.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The aunt wanted to make sure this kid was taken care of. She didn't really
Yes.
care if Hugh Jackman's part of his life or not. She just, from what she knew of Hugh Jackman, he
It's her
wasn't
sister's
worth.
son, yeah.
Yeah, she's thinking he's never going to be there anyways. He's just going to leave him. So
Yep.
I'm going to be here. But now that he shows up, she's thinking, I don't really care if he takes him or not.
Oh.
Because I think the only thing is she wanted to be there to protect the kid, just to take the kid because she cared.
Yeah.
And she mainly want to take care of the kid because she's thinking, I got all this, and that little kid doesn't have nothing.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the movie, the kid ended up with somebody. He eventually gets Hugh Jackman eventually cares because Mary Hugh Jackman don't care. He don't care at all.
I
I mean,
did
he's
like.
like
I did. I forgot about the age joke when he said, like, "How old are you? 9 or 10?" I'm 11. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. I'm 11. I don't understand that part. Why would he ask? Are you sure? It's like a long time ago. Louis C.K. have a joke, right? Like, let's just say you go to someone else's party, and then someone comes up to you like, "Hey, is that your guitar over there?" And this is what a lot of people do. And you look at the guitar like, "No, it's not my guitar." Like, why would I need to look? This is not even my house. But it's the thought process like, are you sure that's not your guitar? Yeah, man, I'm sure because this is not my house. Your guitar? No, I shouldn't even have to look. I just love that. Are you sure you're 11?
well, I think it has a lot on the guitar. It has a lot more like if somebody's asking you about a guitar,
Because you want to
you want
curious,
you
right?
want to you want to turn around to see how awesome this guitar is because you
Oh,
might decide to go,
this is mine.
yes, oh yeah, that is mine.
Like, I never played guitar,
I never owned a guitar, but hey, that one right there,
but
if you're
suddenly I do.
impressed with it, because it's like somebody goes, hey man, is that your Ferrari over there? I'm gonna think, I wonder if I can get away with telling you that is.
But then you can't get inside.
Well, it depends on who asks me there. Yeah,
there's a
well,
there's an episode of Friends that does that. Like, is that your Porsche? Yeah, and then because there was two girls, yeah, it's mine.
well, that's of course what you're gonna say. There's two girls there.
There's two girls, yeah, it's mine. But it's a guy who's, oh, it's not mine. I'm just leaving a note. Nice
Yeah, I'm
Porsche.
just leaving
Thank
a
you.
note.
Hey man, it's Porsche.
Okay,
I think
so
I asked you this. Do you pronounce it Porsche or Porsche?
I for some reason I hate to say Porsche.
Why is that? Because it's a correct
Because
pronunciation or because it's American?
it sounds stuck up.
So the only people say Porsche is Germans?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person.
Oh, okay.
I don't have that kind of money. I've never owned a Porsche.
Yeah.
I've never really sat in a Porsche.
Oh, my first car was going to be a Porsche.
I don't even think I've ever touched a Porsche. The only Porsches I got are model kits in slot cars. I think I have a Porsche right here. Here's my Porsche. Ooh, I'm touching that Porsche.
Oh,
Ooh.
so
You know what you want to know what I call this? I call
what?
it a Porsche. That's what I say. Someone say, "Hey, you got a Porsche?" I got a Porsche. That's my
Did
Porsche.
I ever tell you that story when you and I first met? Like my first car was a Mazda MX-6, right? But
Yeah,
then
when I met you, I saw it. It looked like a Ford Taurus is about to have a baby.
yeah, no, when I met you, never saw that Ford because I was driving a Honda Accord.
But I swear I saw your.
Yeah, I never had that because
Maybe show me a picture then.
yeah. So when I was
I saw it somewhere.
17,
Yeah, I didn't see yours. Yeah, because you
because
had the white Accord.
one of my mother's bosses, right, when she was sewing clothes at the time, her boss was trying to get rid of the his Porsche 944. I forgot what year, right? So she was just going to sell it super
Yeah, I
cheap
hear you
because
say Porsche too, though.
yeah, I say Porsche because that's the first time I heard that word.
Oh, okay.
Even in
Yeah.
Chinese, right, the Porsche is like Porsche. It sounds like I'm saying
Okay.
a tree, but
Oh,
like
it's
we're just
somebody's
saying like
name,
that,
though.
yeah.
You know,
And and like my mom and my dad, like my dad wanted to buy it because like the boss was just selling it cheap, right? My mom didn't want to buy it because she didn't want me driving in such a fast car. because she's worried about how I might do, right? Which is
Yeah.
probably fine.
Well, that's probably smart because I seen how you drive.
Because I saw the car, I'm like, whoa, this is first of all it was red. I'm like going to school in a Porsche, but I'm really glad I got the
Well, think
Mazda
about the
MX-6
insurance.
though.
Think about how much the
Oh
insurance would have
yeah,
been.
the insurance was, but the
They
car
probably
was
would have.
cheap.
The insurance company probably would have said, "No,
Yeah,
you're letting who drive? No."
yeah, a 17-year-old kid.
Think
No,
about the maintenance too.
yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
couldn't have done that.
Because I wanted a.
Oh, you
Oh,
probably
you
could.
knew I still want a Mazda
But
RX-7,
but I guess I can. But I guess I can go. Oh, I want a Mazda. Who doesn't want an RX-7? Well,
the
I'm sure there's some people.
8990 one,
Oh
1989
yeah,
90.
yeah.
Yeah,
You want? Yeah, I know. You want a different. I want the next generation.
yeah. You want the
Yeah,
FD? Yep,
yeah.
the
I want
next
the.
generation. The
Yeah, I want the next one.
you want the third gen? I wanted the second.
Even though I've seen a couple second gens for sale. Every
I
time I see
know.
them, I think of you, dude. You
Oh,
know, I think, huh,
I
I should
still
get this
want
car.
one.
That way I can make you jealous.
Oh, you would. I would. You would be so.
But they are nice. I mean,
They
come on,
are nice. Yeah.
pop up headlights are still cool. I
Yeah,
don't
I
care what
still
year it
like the
is.
second gen RX-7.
But
Yeah,
I
my
still
sister
like
likes the third one too.
I even like the Supra with the pop up headlights.
Oh, that's also the second gen.
Yeah,
Yeah, the second gen Supra.
it's just something about that's cool. Because I mean, even if I had what do they call it, a
What?
Mitsubishi,
3000 GT.
yeah, 3000 GT. Well, the
No,
thing is,
there's two versions. There's the pop up and there's the full
yeah,
circle
there's
lights. Yeah.
eventually they put the headlights, but the thing is, I take the pop up because I like the way the pop up looks. But the thing is, you don't even have to get it in that because you can get a Dodge Stealth too.
Yeah, I think the 300 CX also has popped up, the older ones, and then they changed it.
Yeah, they
too.
all
Yeah.
had pop ups.
Yeah.
And then they changed it midway. Yeah, or you can go buy a light kit that goes in there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even a Corvette had pop up headlights. You can take them out. But
Now it seems like this part
lights
of
that
the
stick up.
conversation we should have been watching some kind of robotic Fast and Furious.
We should have because we've been talking about more.
We didn't
about
even talk
cars
about
than-
cars when we talked about not stupid. I'm sorry, Speed Racer.
I don't even remember what we talked about. Speed Racer,
So-
but that was more of a kids show, though.
Yeah. So on Real Steel, right? Was this is an original idea, was it? It's not like it's not based on any books.
I don't know if it is. I didn't read that part.
It's based on a short story written by Richard Madsen.
Okay, well,
It's just
so
called
still
Steel.
cool.
Yeah, so it's still like a book. Oh my god, it was published back in May 1956.
Wow.
And it's also an episode in the Twilight Zone. Wow, that's cool.
Well, now we gotta find. I gotta find this. I want to see this.
Oh, what, the Twilight
probably-
Zone
it's
episode?
probably-
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably
but
on
it's probably
YouTube.
way different. Watch it all be different. It's because they probably just loosely based it on it. That way they don't get sued. So they just go, oh, go by the rights so we don't get sued. Because they do
True,
that
true.
sometimes. Because something will have a similar title and they go, oh, we'll just buy the rights so we can just get through this without having trouble.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know what? I enjoyed it. It got music by Danny
Oh, I like
Elfman.
this. Well, I mean, yeah, oh yeah. Do you like this better than Chappie?
Oh no, I like Chappie better because it's
Oh,
different.
really?
Because Chappie is actually a learning
they're-
AI, and this one
Yeah,
is
they're
like
different.
there's no CPU
Yeah, you're right.
function.
The main character is still a Wolverine character. When he's
Yeah.
fighting, he's fighting Zeus.
I did like the shadow boxing feature that this.
the shadow boxing feature is awesome.
Yep. I love it, like when a robot can copy what you do.
That
Ooh.
actually almost makes more sense. The shadow boxing makes more sense. Well, I mean, from the aspect I could tell you, I don't think the robot can see you.
Yeah.
He just has to be hooked up to something that makes you do that. Because if has to see you, then you have to stand at a certain point.
Yeah,
and
you
you
just
got
stand at a certain
problem.
point. Sometimes I'm thinking like when it turns, right, then like the robot has to look for
Yeah.
the
So
thing.
apparently they don't explain it completely, but apparently
No.
the robot
It just works.
doesn't have to see you. Yeah, it's just for movies it works.
Yeah, it's for movie it works. Like for real
Of
life,
course-
like if I turn around,
And
like
of course they
what the
do.
hell?
They have that little aspect where you remember when the robot picks up the kid, they try to make it seem like,
Yeah.
oh, this robot's special and he knows more. But the robot
It
never
really
does,
doesn't,
which
yeah.
is good because it would have ruined it for me if they would have had this robot turned out to be all.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? When it comes to
Yeah,
like
because it's too far.
when it came become bicentennial man.
Because this is not the same type of movie. It's like you said, it's not This isn't Chappie. So I mean, because they already kind of set out the story for the robots, so that they needed to stay with just robots only.
Yeah,
so if
that's true.
it's somewhere in the movie that would have developed where it's got his own mind, and I would have been like,
So out of all the
Yeah,
robots
that's a
movie we've seen, right, like Short Circuit, iRobot, Bicentennial Man, I'm pretty sure we haven't seen RoboCop. Which one is the worst robot movie? Like I mean,
Which one's
not
the
as
worst?
entertainable. I don't want to say worse, but not as entertaining.
And I don't know. That's a hard one. I'm gonna still go with Matrix 4.
No, that's not a robot movie. What the heck?
I think it had robots in it. Remember? Because they fight robots in the Matrix.
Do they fight robots or are
Is
they
it that?
fighting some
Is
kind
it
of
those? Were they aliens
virtual
or they
image,
were
like
they
a program?
machines?
They're
Well,
fighting a program.
the program's got to use robots.
It's-
All those things will kill them. All them things are coming to kill them.
Oh, you mean the robot in the real world?
Yeah, remember all those
Those
little
little
things?
virus-looking things. Yeah,
Yeah, those were robots in a
but
way, or
not
were
the
they aliens?
agents.
All right, well, the agents are programmed. Okay, all
Not
right, now
counting
Matrix 4.
Matrix.
All right. What's the worst robot? Come on, you tell me.
I wouldn't say worse, like least entertaining
Okay,
to me.
out of your group of the robot movies you've seen, what's the least
The ones that
entertaining
we
robot?
talked about is probably Bicentennial Man, even though I like the theme of it. Because like of all these, right, I don't want to watch Bicentennial Man if I could watch Real Steel. If I could watch
Oh,
Short
I get you.
Circuit,
I get you.
yeah, I would watch Short Circuit rather than Bicentennial Man. Because, like you said, that is a really long movie. Even it was shorter than this movie, but it seems longer than Real Steel. But at the same
Oh, it
time,
was.
Real
Oh,
Steel was
I would never guess. I would never guess that Bicentennial Man was shorter than Real Steel. Real Steel went
Bicentennial
by.
Man was 4 minutes shorter than this
Oh,
movie.
really? Yeah,
Yes.
Bicentennial Man went pretty quick. He had
Oh,
a good
five.
pacing. He had
Yeah,
pretty good pacing on it.
yeah. But then this movie
Because
was
to me,
longer.
it felt like to me it even felt like I meant Real Steel. It's got to the end, they're like, oh, we got to hurry up with this movie and get it over with.
Yeah, and they did.
I'm gonna go with Bicentennial Man, man.
Yeah, Our Robot was
Look,
still very entertaining.
yeah, I'm not a big. I don't. I really almost forgot we even watched iRobot.
Yeah, but then
I didn't
still very
like iRobot.
entertaining. I like it.
I'm trying to decide now. Yeah, I'd be second. iRobot's being iRobot's almost another one I don't want to watch. The only thing I liked about iRobot was really the Audi that Will Smith drove. I was like, man,
Yes,
that's a nice car. I
the
would've bought one of
motorcycle
those.
too.
Yeah, I didn't care about the motorcycle.
I mean, like I like the car and the motorcycle.
And I thought the robots were pretty neat looking. Well, the old robots. I didn't really care for Sunny. I thought, man, those are ugly robots. I wouldn't want one in my house.
Because the AI, like it's kind of like having
No, just the way it looks.
oh, just the way it looks.
Creepy looking.
So no
Yeah, it's
face.
creepy looking. Yeah, it's creepy looking. It is the creepiest looking robot ever. I'd be like, yeah, I don't want that in my house.
Yeah, I need a butler that looks like C3PO
No, I don't.
or R2D2. I'm not sure. Like something that can help me lift up a something heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's why I have a robot, right? A butler. Like I can't lift this up. Can
I'm
you
trying
help
to
me
decide
with this
if I'm
couch?
trying to decide right now if I'd watch iRobot over Bicentennial Man.
Oh, that's
It's
good.
close. That's a close one, man.
I would watch iRobot because there's more action in it.
You know what I think? We didn't do it. We should have did AI.
I think we should. I
We gotta
think
do
we
AI because
definitely should.
I almost gonna tell you AI would be the one I would never watch again because I owned AI. Let's see, I went
But
saw
that's a
I only
long
saw, but
time
actually
ago
I did
too.
see AI several times, but I only saw about Centennial once because I rented it and it was a long way back then. But I remember AI was a very long and slow movie too, and
Hold
by
on.
the end of it,
Let's
it's one of
do
those
it.
movies like, what? I had to watch this. But I think the problem with AI when I watched it back in the day is because the trailer
Oh,
looked
this is an
awesome,
old
and then when
movie.
you got the
Oh,
movie,
the
it's like,
trailer did look awesome. I do remember that too because it was
and
right.
then
It came out right after Minority Report, I think, or before
yeah,
Artificial
uh,
Intelligence. Let me see how long this movie is.
is that
100,
why?
146 minutes.
Man,
But let's do it anyway because like it's been a long time since I did see this movie, and I want to use an older version of Lamb's Mind rather than 20. So I remember watching this movie when it came out. Let me see when it came out.
it
June
was
29th. So I was still 20 years old at this movie when this movie came out.
wow.
So I
You
wasn't.
were 20 years old
I
when this
was
movie came out.
20 years old when I just movie came out.
What year did it come out in?
2001.
Oh,
June 29th, 2001.
see, I got this movie when it came out.
Yeah. I
So I
remember
guess
seeing this movie when this came out. So
I didn't see it there. I got it on the year, that when it as soon as it came out,
yeah.
I went and bought it.
I
And then I
remember
thought,
seeing
huh, I
this
wish I didn't buy this.
in the movie theater, and I do remember like it was. I think it's because
Being
the
bored.
trailer hyped it up so much, right? Like the trailer
I
looks so
think the
good.
trailer hyped it up so much because you thought you were going to see more of the the robots that you saw in the trailer, and then you
Yep.
hardly saw any of those robots.
So I would like to watch this with an older mindset. So it might be different because I feel
Well,
like
you,
by
you have the
Centennial Man,
choice.
when I was younger, it's kind of like the Spock. I was Spock, and then I'm turning into McCoy. Like we talked about this. Like okay, it was very funny. Like McCoy's such a jerk. Right now, I was like, yeah, I'm totally this guy now. Like, so we'll see. Yeah, let's do AI because let's plan it because I don't think I know we wanted to see this eventually, but is it?
Yeah.
It's directed by Steven Spielberg. Okay. Yeah, John Williams. Well, that's not a DreamWorks. Yeah, of course, it's his company. It made a lot of money. Yeah,
I
so let's
mean,
do it.
there's not too many Spielberg movies that don't make a lot of money. I mean,
Yeah. I think after 1989, and then that's when it hit really
I
big
don't
for
know.
Spielberg.
He's pretty good at marketing his movies.
He is. All his companies is.
Yeah, his
Not
companies
him
is.
personally.
I don't know. I'd say he probably is because he's usually I'm thinking behind a lot of the marketing. He have to
Yeah.
be because it's usually
Or he
some of
just
his
hired the
movies.
right people to do his
Some of their
marketing.
movies,
Yeah.
yeah, some of their movies just ain't that good. But man, you go see them.
Nope. Let's do it. Let's end
Wow,
this
this
show right
is
here and let's talk about AI
that
next
way.
week.
That's good. 'Cause that way, when we do the next show, I can go, yes, this is the one movie I'll never want to watch again.
Yep. So you might change your mind. You don't
I
know.
might change my mind. You're right.
Yep.
But I
Cause
still remember when he gets picked up by the aliens. I'm like, what?
okay, so I don't remember that part, so we'll have to see.
Oh, yeah. It just takes a completely. It almost turns into a completely different movie, man.
Before we end this show, I talk about Dragon Ball, right? Since we talk about anime, and
We talk about Dragon Ball. I don't.
so yeah, I talk about Dragon Ball because whatever, they have robots and whatever. Oh yeah, you probably like that part in Dragon Ball. They have these androids, and it's hard for these humans to beat because they have unlimited energy. It's like whatever, but they were bad guys. But before the guy drew Dragon Ball, he also drew this series called Doctor Slump. And you know how people like think of aliens like they're always bad, right? But this particular episode, the main character is Doctor Slump, right? He has a kid, a baby, with a school teacher because they're married. And then they live by the beach or the island, and the baby was just playing by itself. And these aliens crash landed on Earth, right? By accident, they kill the baby because they crash into the baby. So that these two aliens, they start panicking, right? Like, oh my god, what did we do? We killed somebody. So they fixed the baby with their superior alien technology. That was a really cool episode because like that was the first time I ever saw like alien have a different kind of heart. Even as a little kid, because with media they always feel like, oh, aliens are bad, they kill you, whatever, right? But
You've never seen Starman. That's the problem.
never heard of it. Just
Yeah.
now.
Well, I can't really see Starman ever being popular overseas.
Yeah, it's kind of like that's why action, because action
Yeah.
doesn't need
It's not a
language.
lot of action. That's the thing.
But
So,
like also I was saying, like those two aliens when they fixed the baby, right, and then they just left. They just like, okay, this baby's alive again. Boom, they leave. What they did do when they fixed the baby is a lie, but it has like superpowers and stuff. It's kind of like Jack Jack. The baby can fly, it can read minds, it can talk, it could control, like it has telekinesis. It was the funniest thing ever. Because like, oh my god, we killed the baby. Let's just fix it, and then they just left. It's like they would never know, right? That's one of my favorite episodes, like the chapter of Doctor Slump. But with that, let's get ready for AI next week. The funny thing is, I think I want to say it
hey,
again
I
next
also
week.
want to point this out before we
Yeah,
leave. Thank God there was no three laws of robotics in this movie.
because they can't think for themselves. I think that only applies for robots that can
Even if
think
they
for
could, I'm
themselves,
tired
right?
of hearing the three laws. So whatever.
But it's only played by one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see if that applies for AI because I don't remember it. And I want to say, I remember seeing it in the theater. When I bought the DVD, I watched it again, and then that was it. So I probably have
Yeah.
not seen this movie probably since
That's the sad thing. I think
2002.
you're right because I may only watched it once when I bought the DVD. I thought,
Yeah,
yeah, that's too long.
it's too long. So we'll see
But
what
I
happens.
remember a lot of the scenes, so it must have made an impression.
So right now we're gonna cut off the show so we can see some pre-production stuff to see if I even have this movie. So until next time, we'll see what happens then. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Tensai Reviews. If you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel.